Hey, howdy ho, Lions fans. Welcome to the Detroit Lions Podcast, episode 316. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your dashing host, Chris, and with me is the galaxy brain himself, Sandman. How you doing, brother?
Good. As expected.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, I took a little bit of a different tack today. If you don't like my sense of humor, stay away from today's Twitter. I'll just tell you that right now. I had a blaster in the game. It was bad. Okay, today's show, we're going to talk about the game. We'll have a roundtable. We'll take your calls. We got that whole lot more going on. Are you ready to go, Andy?
Let's do it.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
All right, couple of quick announcements. First, check us out and help us out on the Patreon. Very special thanks to Dylan from that place out in the Pacific.
Where's he from? Is it a place?
In the Pacific.
That's right. Guam.
That's the one. That's the
place, yeah.
Of course, our very first owner, Mathis, Brian Burkheiser from I Prevail. Check them out. They got some great music. New album, relatively new, coming from live shows. Good stuff. They all hang out with us. We're in the Slack chat, the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet. Go to patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Get in for $1 a month. $1 a month gets you access, and then you can take part and be cool with all the other smart people. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Thanks for everyone for supporting the show. Also on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast. DET Lions Podcast, because besides being quite funny, it's the very best place to see Sandman.
With no pants on.
Yeah. Subscribe to YouTube, youtube.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. YouTube.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Give us your subscription love and see all the antics and fun stuff going on there. Also rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you find us. Give us those 5 stars. We love those 5-star reviews. It means a lot. And we're going to be opening up the phones here in Nothing Flat. 248-782-8384. Let's get on.
Tighten your chin straps, kids. It's time to review this week in Reddit.
All right, it's time to talk about all the fun, exciting things going down this week in Reddit. And I guess there was a game today. We got to see, you got Risden saying that, Chase Daniel doesn't have an arm. Just puts a 30-yard laser beam out there with that bazooka cannon he's got. Let's talk. This was really Chase Daniels coming out. Formerly undefeated against the Titans. A little bit tough for him to probably take this loss in stride today. What do you think? Will he ever be able to return to the field after this?
I heard people referring to him as having a bazooka arm, and I agree. His arm is very bubblegum-like. Perfect.
Oh, Bazooka Joe would love these jokes. These are copyrighted, Bazooka Joe, so you can't steal them. They're ours, so just back off. All right, yeah. No, this was not a spectacular game for Lions fans. It was actually pretty tough to watch in many ways. I really felt like safeties were the key to winning today. Keep that defense off the field. Do it 2 points at a time, right? Get that safety, set them up right at the half-yard line, then fumble it. Then the one play from the defense, boom, you get the ball back, you're on offense again, and you keep moving. This was the way for the Lions to win this game. We had some great support from Tracy Walker, preventing an interception and then stopping the clock, help us maintain control of the field that way. It was spectacular all around. Jamie Collins showed why our linebackers shouldn't be tackling. Men of that slight of build should not be in on tackles. They should be there more as kind of directing traffic towards the sideline or whatever. So
cheerleaders out on the field. Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
Oh God, I can't. I was gonna say something about wearing a skirt, but I can't because they're not weak. They're actually really tough dudes. But it was just a crap show. The guys were just getting injured left and right. It was horrible. It was just horrible to watch, one after the other, and Matthew Stafford just taking hit after hit after hit when he's already hurt. I was just like, oh my God, this guy. You
could tell every time he got hit. Ooh.
This is what's. I feel so bad for him. This is his career in a nutshell in Detroit, right? He's playing through it, and there's just no support from this team.
No help.
I have no idea. God, can you imagine being at the very, very peak of your career, being one of the very, the 16, or we'll say 16 best at what you do in the world, and it's just the most miserable job ever. You can't ever succeed, even though you're that good. It's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. How do you wake up and go to work every day? How?
Well, after this game, fun fact of the week, the 2020 Detroit Lions are allowing 31 points per game on average. The 2008 Detroit Lions were averaging 32.
See,
1 point.
That's improvement over a decade.
I want you, if you're listening to the podcast, somehow find your way to YouTube. If you're here live, look at my background. That's who was starting in 2008. Look at those names.
Hey.
Our defense this year is as bad as this group of players.
Hey, are you knocking Ernie Sims?
Ernie Sims would fit in real good with this linebacking core.
He was no Billy Sims, I'll tell you that. Although Billy's probably just as good as a linebacker as Ernie was today. Today. Oh God, let's see. Got a lot going on in the chat. Wasn't expecting a win, but I was hoping it would have been closer. Turnovers really hurt, and a defense showing up would have been nice. Yeah, the safety was a heck of a play. How Okora made his way back into the backfield on Tannehill. That was beautiful. That was like for slow lights. That's the defensive player of the year. That's the one play you can probably hang your head on for the year. I'm worried. Another good one here, Kevin. Stafford should give some of that money back if he can't play for 4 quarters. Absolutely. That's I don't know. I think it's just like I'm in a snarky mood today, and that's like what my Twitter was all day. That kind of crap. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone who had to read that and experience that. All right, we'll open the phones. 248-782-8384, 248-782-8384. You can give us a ring. You can make all that wonderful stuff happen. We'll talk Lions. We'll talk this year. We'll talk next year. Talk about some fun stuff we're going to do maybe along the way. What was your high point of the game today, Sandman? What was the thing that you looked at and you said, you know what? This is my Lions team.
Just Stafford's play while being hurt. That's really it. You know, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
This defense is atrocious all the way through. You know, we've got a patchwork O-line that did pretty good today. I would say that overall the offense seemed to be okay other than turnovers. You know, we got into, their 30-yard line, I think 5 times, but only came away with 16 points.
Yeah.
You know, that's a crazy stat, but 2 fumbles and a missed extra point will do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think any of this, any of the last part of this season is going to be on the offense at all. It's all a defense that gives up 46 points willy-nilly. It didn't even seem like that big of a blowout, which is the craziest part. They scored 46 points and, it didn't feel that bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Got a call from a superstar, rock star, Superman on the line right now. Floundericious. I have to give him big props. Tons of donations, tons of matching, the whole thing. He's the top donor on the list for St. Jude. $1,075 he dropped. I just want to, and Flounder, I'll get you 1 second here. I just got to do one more little thing here. So we raised $1,270 basically on the auction. I'm going to double it. So I'll make it, I'll make it 25.50 or something, whatever that equals out to. That will take us with the 18,669 we have in the donation so far. It'll take us at 21.2, over $21,200 raised for St. Jude. I just want to thank everybody who took part and helped out. It's really something. That's really awesome that all you guys helped us do that. Thank you so much. And Flounder, now that big intro for you. You were a big part of that, man. You threw a ton of money towards St. Jude, and I want to thank you personally and specifically for all you did. This is where you talk, Flounder.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing, man?
Hey, this is Chad from Coldwater.
Oh, I picked up you know what? So Flounder just called, and I picked up his call. I think his call dropped just as I picked yours up. So Flounder, you can call back. I'm not going to say it again, okay? But great work. Thanks. Thanks. How you doing, Chad? How much have you had to drink today, buddy?
Oh, not a lot. It was too depressing to even drink.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I just wanted to say that this game right here showed why Bob Quinn got canned.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right in line with Sandman's background, what he has there, right? This defense is as bad as the 2008 defense. How the hell we wound up winning 5 games this year? I have no idea.
Neither do I.
I think it was Risden that tweeted, we'll look back at this a couple years and never understand how we won more than 2 games. And I think he's absolutely right. I'm already looking, it's not even the end of the season. I'm already wondering how the hell we did that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I wanted to say that I wonder what the next GM is going to do with all these ex-Patriots players, who they're going to keep and who they're going to get rid of.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. As the season ends, one of the things we're talking about doing is doing like a watch along for some of the playoff games, and just broadcasting and watching the game together, having a couple drinks, having a couple people on, a couple listeners, a couple of us just hang out and do some fun stuff. But that's one of the things we're going to talk about is who you keep and who you don't. I think Jamie Collins you have to keep just because of the amount of money wrapped up in him. That would be a giant hole in your pocketbook. I can't believe I said pocketbook.
How old are you, Chris? How old are you?
My grandma used to say that. How the hell did I just say pocketbook? Oh my God! Leave a giant hole in your wallet if you try to get rid of somebody like Jamie Collins. It's just too much money. But I think he didn't have a good game today. He's a better player than how he played today. But
I mean, they have 2 options. They can blow this thing up and spend every ounce of resources that we have to try to rebuild this defense into something respectable and keep a few of the fringe guys around just as, blocks that you can build around slightly. Or you try to keep it semi-intact and just hope that scheme assists. I think at this point, with the team looking as bad as it looks, I don't know who you keep. I think the team is full of dudes that are Matt Patricia holdovers that probably won't work in a standard defense. You've got a ton of guys that, were high draft picks that are just going to disappear. We're going to have stats in 2021, 2022 where it shows high draft picks that the Lions keep, and it's going to be like 3 dudes in the, first 2 rounds of the last 4 drafts. It's going to be awful. I think next year is going to be a full rebuild. And barring some magic happening on the defensive side and the offense, keeping on, it's going to be scary.
Well, hopefully they keep Hall of Famer Jelani Tavai.
Yeah, well, let's be real. You definitely need something like that. I mean, how do you get around an immovable object, right? I mean, you can't go through it. You have to go around.
But I hear they're going to make him a statue out front of Allen Park.
They're gonna change his they're gonna turn off his badge. That's how you get a statue out
right next to the right next to the RoboCop statue they're gonna put up there too.
Exactly. The $25 million 30-year RoboCop statue. Perfect.
But, all right, I'll let you guys go. That was great talking to you, Chris and Sandman. I listen to you guys all the time.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks for calling in.
This is and thanks. I appreciate you calling a lot. I tell you, this is one of those games where it's actually pretty difficult to pull all this together because this game just saps you of your will, right? You just know what's happening this season, and it's really difficult. All right, this time I did it. We've got a real Floundericious on the line. How you doing, man? Thank you again. I won't go do the whole long kind of thing again, but thanks. Now he's not going to talk. Really, this is what we're doing. I'll say pocketbook again. I don't know.
Again. You think so?
I'm going to say pocketbook again if you make me.
Don't do it, Chris.
For the love of God, am I not getting this?
You're not.
I think. Are you here?
Oh.
Louder.
Hey, wait a minute.
This is great. This is just fabulous. Fantastic.
What a delay. Holy shit, man.
You got to crank your phone some more.
Okay. Try to give us a call back, brother. You know what? I'm gonna charge him now. I'm gonna charge him for that.
Like Miss Cleo. How are you? $1 a minute, 98 cents.
Oh, for God's sakes! But He'll call back. This is exactly the situation, man. A game like this just pulls your heart out, pulls the love of the game out. That's, like I said, if you the Twitter was actually for me really fun to do today. Oh, great, Matt. I just couldn't take it serious. I couldn't really live this thing and enjoy it. I had to just mock it, just relentlessly mock what happened on the field today, because I just couldn't take it seriously. We got Matt here with a super chat. Thank you, Matt. What's given me the will to live is that hair stain on Chris's upper lip. Yeah.
Looking good.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna ditch it for Christmas for my wife. I only have it because she hates it.
Just leave the sides.
Yeah.
Just leave like a field goal post.
Yeah, the whole thing of like just keeping a little one that got ruined about 75 years ago or something. Can't do that. Oh God, it really bothers the hell out of me. I'm starting to hate it. Oh, thank you, Matt. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Deandre Swift. He looked good out there. He actually did look good today, other than the fumble.
He does, and it's, every time somebody gets a carry in the red zone that's not Deandre Swift, and I know that Peterson's had success there this year, Swift just has that quick twitch motion to find the little spot in between defenders to make it happen.
Yeah.
And he showed it again today. I think that he's a legitimate building block for this team, which is kind of a hard thing to find at running back. But I'm excited to see what we're going to, see from him next year, because we have to remember he was injured for part of this year. He didn't get a lot of usage early for whatever reason. He didn't have a training camp. And now that, we're finally hitting stride, I think he's finally starting to look like the running back and the player we were hoping we were getting, out of a second-round running back, which has notoriously been not so great for us.
Yeah, our second round has just been wasted capital, right? And so this year, DeAndre Swift was a real bright spot for second-round picks. He's going to be a good running back. He's good now, but I think next year, a year of the NFL level seasoning and conditioning and nutrition, he's going to be a beast. I think he has that, both the twitch and the ability to move quickly like that, but he also has power. He can run between the tackles. I like this kid. He's a good running back that's only going to get better. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink today?
Well, this is Floundericious.
Flounder, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to charge you a buck.
I took a suggestion from the chat and I picked up the phone.
Whoa.
It works so much better.
I never thought of such a thing.
You fellas are looking beautiful as always. I'd hoped to join you on Skype, but apparently Skype decided to impose a 10-second delay unless I paid like whatever the going rate is per minute.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Boy, rough game today, but those second half turnovers just, damn man, that killed us. I was impressed with how well they were hanging in there. Because we had no business being in this game.
No. That first half was actually, you make a great point. They were in it still at halftime. They were in it. They had an opportunity to kind of pull it back. They didn't play spectacular, right? They didn't blow anybody's doors off or anything, but they were in it, and then it just completely collapsed in the second half. It was just a massive. It was a Matt Patricia special, just an absolute complete collapse.
Yeah, and we were discussing in the smartest Lions chat anywhere. We were discussing the first drive that the Titans had, and people were pointing out, hey, the Lions defense is doing pretty good at holding Henry down to just a few yards per run. And I noticed as the drive went on, his runs were getting to be 5 yards every time, 6 yards every time, 10 yards every time. And it's like, guys, we have no depth. He's going to beat the crap out of us.
Yeah. Yeah, and literally,
and by the second half, that was it.
Jamie Collins tried to tackle him and got injured.
Yeah, mushed his face up against his chest.
Yeah. Oh God, that guy's a beast. God, he's a beast. Now that's a running
you
back.
See that big wonderful? I want you to go give him a hug.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was crazy. Just. That guy, Derrick Henry, is just amazing to watch, and I really think he needs to lose the ponytail and then wash and dry that hair, because I can't imagine how much fucking mold is in there. But
that hair is wild, man.
Hey, Chris, I'll let you go tell him that.
No. I stay far away. I called him a loser on Twitter. I'm telling you. So let me ask you. You saw it because the tweets come into the chat. Is that the Twitter? Is that my Twitter game on Lions Day, or should I just leave it to one Sunday and call it?
I don't know, man. I'll leave it to the kids. They know better than I do. we were all in the Slack getting a kick out of all of your really, really salty tweets. So
they were.
It's like, hey, you idiot! You scored. Now they're going to get the ball back. You should have held that fucker until you ran out of downs.
You'll never win a game getting this many yards at once.
It's just weird the looking glass we went through with Matt Patricia as the coach. Like how Andy, I got to give you credit, man. I love the way you put it. It's like, this is bad football, and it's really crappy to watch.
Yeah,
that's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Football is not an ugly sport. Even when football is bad, there's like redeeming qualities about it, and somehow Matt Patricia and crew found a way to
touch you where
kill it.
They
touched me in my fandom, Chris. Real deep.
Right.
Real.
It's the best line ever. I mean,
deep and long.
I still think, Andy, I think at some point as a joke, you should take that one good play from today, the Aquara safety. You should put that on repeat to the pretty fly for a white guy, or something really salty and trashy like that. Like that was the highlight.
Well, I'll have something special for you guys at the end of the year.
Sounds good.
Oh man!
All right, fellas. I'm nursing my one Rainier beer.
Okay.
It's basically a Pabst Blue Ribbon in a different can, but I'm gonna let you guys go and get back to it.
Thank you, dude, and thank you for everything on the St. Jude thing. Really appreciate all your help and everything you did to help.
Awesome job on the fundraiser, man. You guys, I was happy to help. You guys crushed it. Awesome. Glad to be a part of it.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right. Love you guys. Take care.
You too.
Look. Every time somebody tries to tackle Derrick Henry, I think about this photo of him next to NFL running back Mark Ingram. Him next to his son.
Oh my God.
Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram. Just coming up to his shoulder.
Wow. God, just look at those arms. I mean, I can't, I should have had this picture in front of me when I was doing the Twitter thing, because I called him a loser. I mean, it was all obviously sarcastic stuff, but I was like Mike Vrabel, what a mistake for the for the Titans. He's still got a lot to learn, right? They're sitting at 41 points. So funny. God, he's a big dude. He's big, but he's big.
Yeah, he's monstrous, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
I got a picture of me next to Taylor Decker, and my shoulders are wider than him. And I was telling my wife when we were at Senior Bowl last year, and Mike Vrabel was there. He's a big freaking dude, right? I mean, I look at him, I'm like, whoa, he's a big freaking guy. Derrick Henry, boy, that guy is giant. Oh, man. It's like you see him next to normal humans, like Mark Ingram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See how giant he is. Holy cow. Man, Kevin, got to say thank you. Salty tweets because of all the margaritas. Yeah, last night was margarita night. And I do, when I wake up with a little bit of a pain in my head after drinking, I do get that sarcastic, salty kind of thing going on. But I crushed it was like a pitcher of margaritas I crushed last night.
So what do you do when you have pain, Chris?
Oh, how did I miss that? My goodness. Well, you head over to cbd.detroitlionspodcast.com, Andy. Thank you for asking. If you got pain, anxiety, or insomnia, that's the one. Head on over to cbd.detroitlionspodcast.com. It's legal in all 50 states. It's not like weed, which is legal in some states. CBD is the hemp side of it. It is all the good without the THC. So you can still pass your drug tests. You can still operate your heavy machinery. You can still think while you're working and all that. It just takes care of all those other items. If you want to sleep, CBD will ensure you get that stage 4 regenerative sleep. It'll make sure you can calm that anxiety. And if you got some pain, it'll help you with that as like a whole body kind of analgesic. Or you can get the cream to do it on point. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. If you use the Delta 8 stuff, and I'm going to give you guys a code. Really
code.
quick. Yeah, this is the magic code. The Delta 8 stuff, you would think that there's THC in there, but there's not. It's potent stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna get it here. Here you go. Okay. Gift D8. Gift D8 is the magic code. It gets you 65% all of the Delta 8 stuff, all that whole chill line, the Delta 8, and 60% off everything else. Normally, if you use Lions, you get 55% off, but right now they've got this Gift D8 code, 65% off the Delta 8 if you're looking for that. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Okay. I got. You know what? I want to do a contest actually, Sam, and this is something we could do too. We could try to enter. I would love if somebody, instead of having to do a read for this, if somebody put together like a video, like a 30-second or 40-second or whatever video that gets the message across for CBD that I can just throw to and throw up on the screen, and then do that instead of having to do a read every time. I would love that. So I'll tell you what. We'll do this, and I don't know that there's going to be a winner, right? But if there is, we'll definitely use yours on the show with regularity. And I will give away $100 of CBD materials to whoever wins with the best little. I'll call it a commercial, but it's got you know how we are, right? We like to do things a little different, a little fun, a little something. So let's see. Yeah, you just do that. You can hit me up at Chris at DetroitLionsPodcast.com. If you put one together, you can email it to me or have me download it from a Dropbox or whatever. That would be fun. I think that'd be pretty cool. So there you go. $100 worth of CBD. So you're free for putting together a little mini commercial for us. All right. Kevin, $2. Thanks, brother. Thank you very much. You look dapper in the suit. Much different than real life.
Looks so good.
Much different than real life.
Even if he doesn't think my hair is as nice as Tavai's.
Yes.
I think,
Matt's a good one. I'll get that. Dan, first, we need to stop worrying about high character players and start getting highly talented people in here. Can we listen a little bit to the experts? We did listen to the experts by hiring Patricia and Quinn, just so you know. So it's not always maybe the way to go. But I'm with you. I wanted Kareem Hunt. I really wanted to get him when I know he's a bad human being. I get it. But can you imagine if we could have spent that second round pick on a wide receiver, how much different this offense would be with Kareem Hunt and a great wide receiver? Holy cow. You know what I mean? But the character thing got in our way. So I'm not as high on character as I used to be. I need my Matthew Stafford guy on the team though. And then we got Matt. The Delta 8 got me straight up cottonmouth, red-eyed. My night became more interesting all of a sudden. Yeah, it's the real deal. It's good stuff, man. We're
going to find out that Matt Patricia was taking the Delta 8 before game planning.
He's our biggest biggest customer.
He crushes it up, puts it in his 7-layer dip. But I agree with Dan.
3.
I agree with Dan 100%. We need to win, and sometimes you have to throw caution to the wind. Mm-hmm. And some of the Martin Mayhew teams that made splashes were because he took risks on guys, and now it didn't work out very great for him in the end. We had our Titus Youngs, and we had boomer bust guys like Javid Best. High draft picks that just didn't seem to do anything.
Yep.
But, you hit on one or two of those guys, and all of a sudden, your whole team is kind of transformed.
You think about those Jim Schwartz years. Jim Schwartz is that kind of player. I wouldn't say he's a high character coach, a high character guy, right? I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything like that, but quite excitable, if you'll remember correctly, right? Learn the effing rules, the whole thing with Harbaugh, the whole Jim Schwartz thing, right? He was great. It was some really fun, wild, exciting football to watch, especially after going 0-16. You know what I mean? Those were some, anything was possible with Linehan and him. I mean, anything was possible with those Lions teams. Those were crazy times. It isn't that you go seeking a Kareem Hunt. You don't go look for men who abuse women and say, hey, you want them on your team, right? That's obviously not what we're advocating for. But I think some of those things mean a little less now than they used to. They have to. You just really have to say best player at the position, period, and go for it. And think about how cheap Kareem Hunt would have been if we'd assigned him. Seriously. I mean, that could have been such a difference maker. He signed for nothing because nobody wanted him, right?
I think he also signed for a little less because he was going to the championship team.
Yeah,
but
the Browns.
Still.
That team, man, you talk about that makes it hurt more. Just so you know, everything that we're going through as Lions fans, seeing the Browns, we always had the Browns like, hey, fellow terrible team and fellow sad fans, I can feel for you. Let's hold hands and walk in the park. Now they're like, we don't like you. We're gonna go hang out with the Tennessee Titans people, right? We've been spurned. We've been cast aside, and we're now, who do we have? Jacksonville. Even they made it to a Super Bowl, though. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. All right. Ernie isn't an expert. Fake news. That's right, Dan. You got us there. Matt rocking the Delta 8 1000. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Consulting with experts. Ernie, of course. Do you think maybe that the Delta 8 is actually the 8th layer in Matt Patricia's 7-layer dip?
Ooh.
Galaxy brain.
How many layers are there in hell?
8 circles.
Yeah.
Is it 8? Yeah, I think it's 8 circles.
I just watched the Da Vinci Code. I should know this.
All right, now I got to do Dante's Inferno. God.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I have to know. I think it's 8 circles of hell. 9 circles of hell. Yeah. Interesting.
He was close.
Same number of lives a cat has. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Dan is all about it. Dan knows how many there are.
Dan is truly living the Inferno. Number 9. Number 9. Oh my God, Matthew Stafford is the last.
Yeah. By the way, this is my fandom during Matt Patricia's tenure.
Oh. Yeah. So you had some itching and burning. I see.
just a little. I had the low ground. It wasn't working out for me.
Well, the CBD cream helps with that. When it's on the inside, though, that's the problem.
They sell 10-gallon buckets. That's what I need.
That's a whole lot of menthol. Oh, man, that's great. All right. 248-782-8384. 248-782-8384. Give us a ring. Talk through some of the stats really quick. Deandre Swift, 67 yards rushing. That elusive 100 yards. That's really just how many games? It's like less than a season worth of 100-yard rushes games in Matthew Stafford's career with the Lions. I believe, if I remember correctly, there's less than 16 games where he's had a 100-yard rusher in his career. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And I think that's if you include, like, just as a team 100 yards rushing. And some of those were when he rushed for 30 yards.
Yeah.
Which is
12 yards today. I mean it. Here's the thing about Matthew Stafford, and I'll tell you something. I believe him actually coming out and playing today speaks to him possibly coming back. He didn't have to play today. I mean, it speaks to his character, no question about it, right? But he very easily could have said, you know what, F this. I'm not playing today. There's no one would have faulted him for not playing.
Nope.
Right? Nobody in the league would have thought anything less of his toughness or anything if he didn't play today. He could have very easily tapped out, said, "No, I'm too sore. I can't play. I'm gonna take off." And knowing he's not playing for the Lions anymore. Right? I mean, he could very easily have done that. Why would he put himself on the line, his body on the line for further injury for a team he isn't coming back to or doesn't care about? I really believe that him showing up today and playing is a statement of his commitment to the team. I sure hope that the new GM and coach have that same sort of commitment to him. He's shown he will give 110%, and Matthew Stafford is the one shiny bright spot on the Detroit Lions consistently year in, year out. Even up until when he got hurt last year. I mean, he was on pace for just a huge season last year. He's great. He's just been surrounded by incompetence, and I feel so bad for him.
It really is. Possibly the most frustrating thing about being a Lions fan is watching Stafford just get shit on year in, year out with the people behind him.
How do you get to the point where you feel bad for a guy who makes over $100 million? I feel so sad for him. His job is terrible.
He only has a smoking hot wife and
how did I get
awesome
here?
kids. And
How did I get here to this place where I feel sorry? I don't feel sorry for him. I do, though. I really do. God,
Yeah,
the guy deserves so much better. Jeez. Oh God. I don't know what just happened in the chat. Oh, sarcasm font. I'm using mom on Facebook font. I get it. Okay. Number 9 needs a running game and a competent one. Yeah, absolutely, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Stafford has just not had one. When we get 100 yards, how many times? It's like we've won every game or all but one that we've gotten 100 yards on, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I think there's other stats too that if you follow me on Twitter, I'll be posting later. But I think during Stafford's tenure here as a Lion, he's had to score 28 points on average to win, which is an insane stat. Nobody has a stat like that.
Wow.
Because nobody that plays on a team that's this bad for this long sticks around because that just doesn't happen.
Right.
So like this is one of the few times where I think like a good quarterback has been on a bad team his entire time.
We're 0-6 against the Tennessee Titans. They are 10-3 against us, including the days, or 10-4 against us, including the days they were Houston Oilers. Kevin Alt, which is old in German, just so you know, Alt, like the Dusseldorf Alt beer, which is just the Kolschapede back in the Rhine and rebrewed downstream. I want Stafford back and had the same thoughts today. CBD helps watching the Lions. Kevin from Colorado. Kevin, thank you. It does help. It helps a lot. And I just can't believe that we picked him up as a sponsor this year of all years. It couldn't have been a better marriage, a better time. Peterson had 23 yards, which I don't remember any of them. I remember one carry, but he, interestingly, 23 yards. That's a lot more than I thought.
He had two like decent runs that went somewhere, and a couple of shorter guys.
Here's how bad Matthew Stafford is. He got 12 yards running. Chase Daniel, 11. And how little did he play comparatively? Chase Bazooka Daniel. Bazooka. Such a
real sticky.
I love the word bazooka. Bazooka. All right, there you go. Let's see. We had, Matthew Stafford was our third highest rusher. That's great. Agnew had 7. Talk about the pass game a little bit here. Marvin Jones was the big winner today with 112. Now, this is funny because Tony was saying in the game preview that you're not going to see a lot out of Hockenson because they're really, really good up the middle. Those crossing and seam routes are going to be really hard for Hockenson to make hay with because they're just really, really good in the middle of that defense. Hockenson only 18 yards. So he got about 100 yards less than Marvin Jones, and they were only like 10 yards apart. Pretty good as far as total receiving yards on the year coming into this game. There's a 10-yard difference. Marvin starting to separate a little bit here. He's going to be about like 740, 735 yards now. And he's the leading receiver. We may not have a single receiver on this team that has 1,000 yards this year. Think about that. A receiver. Derrick Henry's on point to get 2,000 yards as a running back.
Yeah, this offensive year is going to be real weird looking. And I think one of the craziest things that we're going to talk about a lot this offseason is how much different this offense has looked as soon as Patricia has left. There were stretches where Marvin Jones got, 1 or 2 passes thrown his way?
Yeah.
For 4, 5, 6 games. And now he's looking like Marvin of old, the Marvin that we signed.
Interesting.
That's, it kind of makes you wonder. Why it looks like this and why we have no 1,000-yard receivers and nobody with, that many catches.
Were they actively trying to screw this team? Were they actively trying to do poorly and wreck Detroit? I mean, I'm asking this like semi-seriously, actually. And as I'm sitting here considering this idea, I don't honestly believe that somebody would come get a GM job and a coach job, line the coach job with their guy, be the number one candidates consensus-wise, and then they actively try to tank a team, right? I just don't believe that that's how it works. But how? How do you do things as poorly as they did with all the resources they had? Everybody believed in these guys. Everybody thought these. How can you be that bad?
I don't know if I would ever say that they were trying to make it bad, but they did a good job at doing it. With, whether trying or not,
to make it actually a considerable point, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Were they trying? God, because they made some real bad decisions. Kevin with the dude theory, which is a spectacular theory, by the way. It's in the chat all the time. Game plan moving forward: only draft dudes. Quit screwing around with non-dudes. So simple. What is the number of dudes that a team is required, Kevin? Is it 5 or 7? I forget the number on dude theory. You need dudes are dude. Derrick Henry is a dude.
Yeah.
Right? At his position, he's a dude. I'm not going to explain the whole theory because it's pretty good, and Kevin does a great job with it. You need 5. A winning team, a playoff caliber team will have 5 dudes on it, and then surrounded by good players. Right? 4 if one of them is your coach. That's interesting. A dude coach. So yeah, no, the dude theory thing. It's in the chat. You can head over if you do the Patreon thing. Definitely you'll get a lot of really good talk. But his theory, the dude theory from Wisco it makes sense. It's not Raz or anything strictly analytics based, but it makes really really good sense. And he's been beating the drum on this thing for about a year now, I think. But it's
so 5 dudes is like the requirement.
Yeah, you need 5 dudes to be a good team.
I'm trying to think. So like the 2014 Lions, Sue was a dude. So
Mm-hmm.
Sue was a dude.
Are you reading this?
Ansel was a dude. Glover Quinn was a dude.
I don't know that
Stafford's a dude.
Yeah,
You could argue Stafford's a dude.
I don't know that Pat's dudes. You had Brady was a dude. God, think about this. Tom Brady won Super Bowls with 52 other different people, right? Like completely different teams. So you got to think of what year. I'd actually have to look at a roster, and I'd point at your 5Ds.
Yep.
Yeah. Calvin was a dude for sure. Calvin, I'd say you could probably count as dude in a quarter. Early in his career, because he was just so impactful.
Yeah, but you have to remember that Bryant Johnson was negative 0.5 dudes.
Yeah.
So really, if you equal it out, Calvin Johnson was only 0.75 dude.
And I'll forever believe that Chris Durham, he spelled it with a K though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. Okay.
That was the problem.
Yep. Chris with a C, it's just not like that. They're not that caliber. Chris's are always great. But he spelled it with a K. That's why. Okay. Gronk, Brady, Belichick are four dudes right there.
Chris Durham was an honorary dude when he caught that sideline pass against the Cowboys. He was a dude on that one play.
Oh God, that was but that was a Stafford laser. You would have had to be utterly incompetent, and he almost was right, but to not make that catch, right? It couldn't have been any more perfectly thrown. It really couldn't have been.
We're dudes. I was just informed by Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. That's awesome. I love you, too. We are the dudes of podcast. We got 2 dudes. We're there. We're there. We got Ortiz, Riz, and Case. 2 of them.
5 dudes.
2 of those 3 are... Sorry, Case.
Yeah.
Hey, I bust his chops so much. And just so you guys know, I don't ever mean anything. He and I just have that kind of relationship where we give each other crap, and I just continue to do it relentlessly, I guess. But Case is one of the coolest dudes. So don't think there's any real animosity or anything.
Near dude.
Speaking of, let's talk about the shows this week. We're not going to do a show on Tuesday, and we're going to do the pregame show, the game preview on Wednesday, and that'll be with Riz, Case, and Tony. So there's, instead of 2 shows this week, we're only doing that one. And then there's no postgame. I apologize. They moved the game to Saturday, and I'm going to be on a plane. I'm literally going to be on a plane trying to figure out how to stream from 30,000 feet to watch what's going on. I'm going to be flying between the 2 teams playing, right? That's the weirdest part. So, yeah, we'll check it out. No post game next week. Sorry, guys. I really apologize for that, but we're only going to miss one this year. So that feels dudish, right?
Very dudish.
Oh boy. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Dude Theory is going. Dude Theory is going in the chat. Okay. 248-782-8384. 248-782-8384. Give us a ring. Sanu, second highest number of catches or yards at 38. So from 112 for Marvin Jones down to Sanu at 38. I like Sanu. I think he could be a really good weapon for this team. He may be something to hold on to next year as we try to find talent at the wide receiver position and the linebacker position and the safety position and the defensive tackle position.
Yep.
Otherwise, that defense is solid. I mean,
yeah. Other than we getting 11 new dudes, we are good to go. Good to go.
Is Prater done, or can he have another resurgence since Denver? DeBread313, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really, really do appreciate that. I don't think he's done, and I think if you look at Prater's numbers for this year, he's still an above-average kicker. Even and so, I make the argument that in Detroit, we're in the same kind of place that Green Bay is with quarterbacks. They went from a Hall of Fame quarterback to a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? We, other than a blip in the middle, we went from Eddie Murray to Jason Hansen to Matt Prater, and we just kicking is like our standard for kicking in Detroit is so much higher than it is in the rest of the league. It absolutely is off the charts. I think Prater had a great year for a kicker, but a down year for Prater. So I think he's back. If as long as he wants to, I think they'll let him play as long as he wants in this town because he's money.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely having a down year for Prater. But like Chris said, I think we're kind of spoiled here with kickers. I feel like there's only a few teams in the league that have kickers where they go out to kick and you feel good about it every time. Yeah. You know, and we felt that way about Prater up until this year, where it was like, okay, well, he's going to make it. And then one random miss or whatever, no big deal. And like the Ravens are the same way. But other NFL teams, you know, basically a kicker cost us in 2014. If we had Matt Prater in 2014, we're winning a playoff game. We're winning more games, potentially getting a home game. You know, kicking is important. And just because the guy has one down year, I don't feel like you let him walk or you kick him out. Yeah. Kicking is just way too hard in the NFL for whatever reason. It's just too hard to find a good kicker.
Yeah. I mean, you could have Cody Parkey, right? Cleveland Browns, Titans the year before, Bears before that. Dolphins before that. Yeah, 1 year at a time per team.
The Chargers that 1 year where they had the number one offense, number one defense, and the 32nd ranked special teams.
The Browns had him in 2016 as well. He's horrible. I mean, and think about it. Today, Matthew Prater walked up, kicked a 53-yarder. No one doubted he was going to hit it. No one absolutely doubted he was gonna hit that field goal. You got Cody Parkey. They won't even go for extra points. They're doing 2-point conversions. This guy's so bad. I mean, you got real issues.
Yeah.
We've seen it in Chicago. They got out early. Oh God, who was it? Robbie Gould. Yep. They tapped out early on him. That was a mistake, and now they've been struggling.
Yeah, and then Robbie went on to do good things for other teams, and it's kind of like
San Francisco, right?
I just don't. Yeah, San Francisco. You just don't let a guy like that go. I mean, if he has another bad year next year, then maybe you talk to him about, you know, retirement. I'm not sure how old he is now, actually, but it's just too hard to get a kicker. And if you're spending resources like draft capital on a kicker, that's bad news.
Janikowski, I don't know. Janikowski kind of breaks the mold there. What did they take him like?
Well, and Hansen was taken in the second round.
Yeah.
But can you imagine what would happen to the Lions' new GM if he took a kicker early, or even at all in this draft? Remember what happened to Bob Quinn when he took a long snapper?
That's what I was going to say. Here's this year's plan: long snapper in the first, kicker
Jeff Risdon would lose his mind. Jeff Risdon would die. Jeff Risdon's cow heart would jump out of his throat. Just be a bad deal all the way around.
He would put on a helmet and go out there and kick the ball himself. He would muscle his way onto the field. That's how off the charts he would.
Jeff's legs are too long. It takes him too long to kick. It's like 3 seconds for him to swing his leg.
You're right. You can't be tall. You can't be tall as a kicker. Too long to get that ball off. Too many blocks. But the thing is, you get close to the ball so much faster with that longer gait.
Well, that's true. You only need to take 1 step instead of 2.
Right. That's a funny look. You know those kickers that like short step up to like 1 step and like bam and kick. That's a real funny look. I'm used to the 3-step punch on that ball, but
We just need to get one of those kickers that's missing all of his toes from frostbite.
Yeah.
The straight on kicker. That's what we need.
Your kicker can't be any taller than Baker Mayfield. That guy's legs are so short. It's hilarious. He's funny to watch. All right, let's see. 248-782-8384. We'll take your calls. Otherwise, we'll get ready to start wrapping up a little bit here, unless you guys have something you want to bring up in the chat.
Oh, the Jets are winning.
What in the world?
Hell yeah.
We are... Oh, yes, I was at Tankathon earlier. We are currently... Let me refresh it, because we'll get to the results of today's game. We are now drafting 10th. We were 12th before.
You know what?
Prime
10th.
Position for Eric Ebrons.
I was about to say 10th is the perfect spot to draft a good old tight end or a good old speedy linebacker who doesn't know how to change his ankle
It's
mid-run.
a great place to reach for a position of little need and for a player with a bad attitude. That's really what you're shooting for at 10th. Oh, God. What do you think? We're going 10th. What do you think we picked? Without even looking at the stack, what position is your number one position in need?
And it sucks. It sucks big time, but wide receiver.
Yeah.
I hate not addressing the defense, but I don't know if there's any defensive ends or defensive tackles that are going to stand out, at number 10.
Yeah.
I haven't spent a lot of time on the draft yet, but and I hate taking another cornerback or even it's just hard. And I think linebackers are one of those weird groups that it's kind of a crap show. You can get a good linebacker in the 3rd, 4th round. You could take one top 10 and he turns out to be garbage.
Yeah.
It just, I think if they basically are forced into wide receiver, which is a big need here.
Oh, it's giant.
It's a big need.
You need three.
Yeah, but it sucks.
Yeah.
It just feels bad. When your defense is the second worst defense the Detroit Lions have ever fielded, and you're taking wide receivers in the 1st round, ugh.
Yeah, that's a statement to how absolutely bad of a dumpster fire it is. The one it's back to the Millen draft strategy. Take a wide receiver 1st round every year, right? I mean, but that's how we got Calvin Johnson, right? But it was that was what, the 5th time we pulled a wide receiver out of the draft, something crazy like that. Michael Williams, that guy, that was a superstar. He's selling used cars down in Alabama right now. I have to visit him at the Senior Bowl. All right, there we are. Missed the chance at Herbert. Yeah, though, I've kind of come around a little bit on the quarterback thing. Aaron Rodgers is 37. He's 5 years older than Matthew Stafford, and he's slinging the ball like crazy. He is really just still, one of the best teams or the best team in the NFC right now. Matthew Stafford, if he wants him, has a lot of years left. Oh, frostbite feet. Pound him. He's got a lot of years left in the NFL if he wants him. I think I don't think you need a quarterback yet. And drafting at 10th is not the place to get your quarterback. You're just not going to get a player. It's like drafting Tease Tabor in the 2nd or Jelani Tavai.
It's just risky. People are like, oh, Justin Herbert. Like, oh, all these people. Like, you can look at the list of quarterbacks that are starting in the NFL right now.
Yep.
But there's so many misses. For every Justin Herbert, there's a Christian Ponder. For every Aaron Rodgers, there's, a million guys, that were taken and just don't do anything. It's just a quarterback is such a crapshoot that unless you're picking super high and it's worthwhile, it's so risky.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see where we're looking at. You got Danny Dimes was picked 6th overall. Daniel Jones. I'm looking just at 2019. Dwayne Haskins was picked at 15. There you go.
And he was
the 3rd one picked that year. Daniel Jones was 2nd, Kyler Murray 1st, right? I mean, you're just not getting the quality that late in the draft. You're just not, and it's tough. Stafford's been pounded harder than Mia Khalifa at a frat party. Oh my God, Eric, thank you for that. That was a great one. I needed that left today. All right. I just don't think this is it. So now what? Right? You say you're 10th. Maybe we could pull this team to like 7th. Right? Let's see how many games behind are we here in the Tankathon. 4.5 games behind with 3 games left. Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Lions to get. Well, I mean, if every 4-win team wins and we lose out, depending on the other factors and tiebreakers, we could get as high as 4th overall. I just don't think that's going to happen, though. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's odd. A team this bad this year is drafting 10th. We were drafting, like I said, 12th before. How crazy is that? As bad as this team is and how terrible they are, we fired a coach. We're in the middle of the pack. We're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I know. And when you think about how bad this defense has been, it's insane. Winning 5 games this year is incredible. That points towards how important it is to have a quarterback. If you look at our defense this year and you put a quarterback like, I don't know, Dan Orlovsky on this team as the starting quarterback, do we win any games?
I was gonna attribute it to coaching. Solid coaching is what got this under quality roster to those 5 wins, and we have to give some credit to Matt Patricia for the great job he did in Detroit
of building the roster. You know what I could use? Some slow motherfuckers. Let's get some more slow motherfuckers in here. Bob Quinn's like, let's get Tease Tabor 2nd round. Let's get.
Is there anybody slower on the board than Tease? He's running it in under 5 seconds.
Bob Quinn's stopwatch was broken. It was reading guys 0.5 faster than they actually were. Like, wow, this Tavai guy's fast.
I want Frank Ragnow playing corner. That's Quinn's galaxy brain at work. Oh my god. Oh god, this is what this team has reduced us to, right? I mean, this is but it is getting close to time to start thinking about the draft. And the playoffs are always fun, even when you're not in them. It's fun to watch good teams play football. It's a kind of a break from what you're used to the other 16 weeks of the year. So there you go. All right. So are you down for doing a watch along and some playoff games, Sammy?
Yeah, might be down for something like that.
Maybe bring some folks in, let them join, watch, just kind of talk about it, talk about the Lions, do some draft research while we're watching the Buccaneers slaughter the Saints. God, it's all just dumb today. It's the margaritas. It's the margaritas. I blame the margaritas. All right, let's call that a post game show. There's just not a lot to really.
Until we get a GM and a coach, man, we're kind of in an awkward limbo.
Yeah,
barring a crazy Lions win or whatever, there really isn't. This team is who we thought they were, and we watch because we're fans. But there really isn't many takeaways from a game like this. Deandre Swift looked good. Stafford was hurt and played well while he was hurt. But even talking about how good Bevel looks offensively, opening the team up and how much smoother the offense looks, doesn't really matter because we can basically say for a certainty he's not coming back. So, kind of we're in limbo for another couple weeks probably until things heat up.
Yeah,
coach wise, GM wise.
Oh, here you go. Do you think the Lions should give Bevel Stafford's last year? This is an interesting take because I think everyone's kind of in the I don't want to say everyone because there's always people that surprise me, but most people are in the place that Bevel's probably not the right guy to be the head coach of the team. I think we're all kind of in agreement on that, and that is what it is. Now the next question then becomes if does Bevel stick around as the offensive coordinator? It's gonna come from the coach and the GM. I think he's got I don't know.
I feel like any coach, the awkwardness that happened with, Jim Bob staying, and I just don't like that.
Yeah.
I think people need to bring in their own guys to fulfill, the dream of what the team's going to be.
I think,
and even if Bevel's done good things and looks better with Stafford under center and, without Patricia controlling whatever, I think it's just you have to bring in your own guys and trust your own process, as Patricia would say.
Get the pad level right. I'm actually still on with Wade Phillips as a defensive coordinator. I really think that he of all the people out there, he could probably do something with this crap show that we've got on defense right now. And with a couple new pieces, I don't know how much. What do we have? Only 5 picks in the draft this year?
Yep.
We got some money in the bank. I'm sorry, in our pocketbook for we've got money for free agency. I expect us to be highly active there, particularly with how few draft picks we have. I think that's where we're going to find a lot of those pieces. I think March, when free agency opens, first part of March, is going to be crazy. I think you're going to hear Lions a lot. I think we'll be extremely active, and we're going to build a lot from there. So yes, our pocketbook money is going to come out from under the mattress and get spent. The draft will be what it is. But a guy like Wade, I think he could really, really kill it. With Bevel, look, this offense. We scored points today. I mean, we scored 25 points. They're not. I mean, they're our defense, right? They play the Cornell.
Yeah. But we also fumbled twice in the red zone, and
I think I don't think that's Bevel's fault, right?
No.
And we'll talk about this. I think right now, right? I think it's the question about Bevel as the offensive coordinator is a good one. Do you want Stafford to learn this would be his 5th offense now, right? Next year, right? And if you're saying it like Joe did, do you think the Lions should give Bevel Stafford's last year? Do you think Stafford should learn a new offense in his last year? I don't think that's the best move either, right? Probably one he's familiar with, and an iteration of one he's familiar with is probably the best output you're going to get out of Matthew Stafford. So I don't think it's his last year. I really don't. I think Matthew Stafford's going to say I've really evolved on this year, but the more I think about it and the more I see, I feel like he's going to be in on another shot in Detroit. I think he's going to be. This is the last shot, right, for him, for the team. Hearing Kelly, talk, they know what a feat it would be to bring a championship to Detroit. And they, as competitive as he is, you saw him out there today, he knows that that's the kind of thing that, makes you will be one of the greats forever remembered in the NFL. It is the ultimate challenge. It is the ultimate competitor move to win in Detroit. And I think he's the guy for the job. I thought earlier maybe he might be a little bit broken because of the Patricia thing. I don't think that's the case. I think he's got time left. He's not too old. His arm, we saw it today. He can just drop that ball in there with freaking speed and power, and
his ribs are busted up. And if you've ever busted a rib or anything, everything involves your friggin' ribs. Everything. You make any move, and you feel it in your ribs. For him to be throwing deep balls and taking hits and getting up and doing it again, that's the toughest sumbitch ever.
Imagine
he's so tough.
If you've had ribs, even a back injury, it would be similar, right? That hurts, but you can walk or whatever. Every time he's throwing the ball, it's hurting. Just imagine if you've got one of those injuries, right? Something like that. Just getting tackled. Just hitting the ground. Just falling. Not even getting tackled. Just falling to the ground, the grass like that. How much that has to just kill.
And just the torque of throwing a football. Just the act of throwing a football has got to be tremendous. That's all upper body twist and
yeah. Ugh. How many fresh starts does one team need? I don't know. I would say that you're getting pretty close to one in New England. Every team does fresh starts through the perpetuity of a franchise's history or a sports history. How many rebuilds one more for sure in Detroit.
Yeah, right? At least one more.
At least one more. And then even if this is the one that gets a championship, there'll be another one after it. Maybe not right away. It might be 2, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. But it'll happen again.
Look at the Eagles right now.
Yeah. From Super Bowl party swinging from lampposts to running into posts in the subway after the win. If you saw the video.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Wow. That's all you can say about Philadelphia. Wow. But they wish they had Donovan McNabb now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Matt, that's really cool. He's a Packers fan, has full respect for Stafford. He's a beast. Yeah, absolutely. He's killer. He's just such a. I mean, you talk about like on one hand we say bring Kareem Hunt, or I said it. I don't want to put that hex on you, but he should have brought Kareem Hunt. But on the other hand, you look at Stafford and say this is a guy whose character is so high. It's such an awesome guy. It's one of those things where you can, just because they have high character doesn't mean they're going to be good or bad players, better or worse players, but it's an artificial construct to filter people on, and you shouldn't be using that as a filter for the talent you're bringing on the team. That's really what I'm trying to get at. Use the words, Chris. All right. Yeah. Skeletosi. Some of that Diamond CBD. Just go to cbd.detroitlionspodcast.com. And then when you're done, head on over to amazon.detroitlionspodcast.com. Last minute now. You've got like 2 days here to get your stuff by Christmas. All the auction winners from St. Jude get all their stuff sent out, and it'll be there by Tuesday, it said. So enjoy your items, everybody. Thank you all so much for that. Amazon.detroitlionspodcast.com. It'll take you right to the site. No funny stuff. Just throws a little cookie on your browser so they know we sent you, and you can take money right out of Bezos' pocket and put it in ours, into our vast kingdom of riches, and help us pay for all the stuff that we do weekly, 3 times a week through the season. That's a lot of talking.
It is a lot of talking.
Oh, man. All right. I think with that, we're going to do it. Sandman, thank you. Enjoy next week. And we got to figure out just getting together. Even, I don't know if restaurants are open in Michigan or how that works right now, but let's find a way just to hook up, okay?
Figure something out.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember, we're looking for your involvement. Use the comments in the subreddit to give us your feedback. And don't forget about us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. As little as $1 a month gets you full-time in with the smartest kids on the internet in our Slack chat. You can give more. We'll always accept more. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. And I'm going to start something new for new Patreon members. Just if you're thinking about it on the fence. I got an idea. Just a little reward for people that sign up. I got a couple of really new ideas. I've got a couple of weeks off here and I'm focusing real hard. I always do. I kind of refresh and do stuff for the podcast.
Smells like burning all of a sudden.
Yeah, burning plastic, burning rubber.
Yeah.
That's how I was created. Let's see. Yeah, so patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Detroit Lions Podcast, and on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast. DET Lions Podcast on Twitter. It's the best place to see Andy.
With no pants on.
We're going to come up with something new. It's been 5 years with no pants.
I can start doing no shirt.
Yeah.
You can do no glasses.
To the running.
Oh no, I gave away my superhero identity. I shouldn't have taken those off.
I'll edit that out. All right. Give us a call on Skype, Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word. Or call us on the Lions line at 929-33-LIONS, 929-335-4667. Leave a message. We'll put you on the show. And go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the podcast so we can show up in your headset automatically. And from Sandman, from me, thank you all. We love you all for joining us on the show and throughout the year. Have a great holiday. We really appreciate all you folks. And Sandman, I appreciate you more than words can speak. It's been awesome doing these post-game shows with you. I absolutely have loved it, man. You're the bomb. You are the bomb.
Back at you, Chris.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You're going to see more of Sandman, by the way. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, no problems, because we're your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection.